In today's news, UK military ship back in the BVI despite decline from the government.
And today we are live with Minister Wheatley to discuss the newly released CXC results as well as the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force appealing to the public to solve 4 murders. All that and more when 284 News returns.
Brilliant Hands and Minds tutoring services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
Welcome everybody. It is Monday, September 28, 2020, a beautiful day in the British Virgin Islands. My name is Javon Wilson.
And I am Kyla Kenesha Forbes. Definitely happy to be here once again, a new week, Javon, and so much to cover here in the British Virgin Islands. Now, of course, we're topping off with our news summary, and we see where Honorable Marlon Penn, the leader of the opposition, he voiced his concerns about the opening of tourism come December 1st. Now, Penn is concerned about the lack of planning and consultation with stakeholders. He said, and I quote, "We don't know whether we are going to open to all destinations, if we're going to have all ports open, the Beef Island port, the Rotown ferry dock, the Western port. We don't know what the health and safety protocols are, if persons will have to quarantine for 14 days. What is the status if that is the case? Or how will tourists look at coming to the territory to quarantine for 14 days? Now, really and truly, Javon, Honorable Penn feel as though the BVI is missing somewhat of a golden opportunity by opening the tourism season so late. But really and truly, he is concerned all around with what is the plan. We've heard a lot about December 1st, and we're definitely happy for that. But we're, of course, waiting for more information as to the protocols as we prepare to open back up for tourism.
And Honorable Penn echoing some of the sentiments on the ground as it relates to the hospitality industry and speaking to some of those stakeholders. One of the things we know is that they are in need of a plan. One of the stakeholders, she said, we've had since March of this year as it relates to this COVID-19 pandemic to plan for the reopening of the industry. Yes, it's a fluid situation and changing as we go, but we want to ensure that we have something to serve as a structure and a guideline for the industry as we prepare to reopen. Also, we're one of the destinations within the region who probably, I would say we are one of the last to reopen. So it's also a situation where we can look across the region and adopt some of the similar strategies and personalize that to fit the climate of hospitality here in the BVI, but something that we definitely want to continue to look into. As it relates to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, we saw over the weekend an early morning raid, that is yesterday, in the Anderson Hill area that resulted in a large quantity of drugs being recovered with a loaded firearm, and get this, 6 persons arrested in connection to that raid. This was a collaboration between the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, Kyla, in collaboration with some immigration officers, but based on the latest report from the force, no one has been charged yet.
Okay.
So we'll be continuing to cover the details on that as well. And in the U.S. election debate begins tomorrow, Tuesday, September 29th. This is the first time, of course, that President Donald Trump is going to face off against Joe Biden. So definitely something to look forward to as we examine the road to the U.S. elections.
And Javon, of course, as that heats up, election comes as a nasty time in any jurisdiction. Yes. And we see where the New York Times revealed that the President of the United States, currently Donald Trump, paid only $750 in federal income
shame.
tax in 2016. That was actually the year that he won his presidency, and in 2017, his first year in office. So $750. And everyone know Donald Trump, even before becoming president, he was known as a wealthy businessman in America. So to hear that he have only paid $750, and of course, other reports surfacing that 10 years or previously 15 years before, he did not pay any tax at all. So
not surprised. This is President Donald Trump we're talking about.
honest.
Probably the president with the most gumption on the planet. But viewers, for now, we're going to head straight into our newscast today, beginning with the local news. Now, the UK Navy ship, whose initial offer to strengthen the integrity of our borders was declined by BVI government, is now back in the territory. This was confirmed by a press release letter released by His Excellency Governor Augustus J.U. Jasper that stated, and I quote, "To tackle the immediate threats to our border security, I am pleased to announce that HMS Medway will shortly return to our waters to offer additional support with surveillance and act as a deterrent." HMS Medway is a British Royal Navy patrol ship designed for counter-piracy, anti-smuggling, fishery protection, as well as border control. She will stay in our vicinity until the end of October and work alongside the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force and other members of the Joint Task Force to support patrols and temporary radar arrangements in place, the governor added. Now, Governor Jasper stated that the effort will be contributing to ongoing efforts by our regional and international partners to tackle smuggling in this region. Now, the crew will not come on to land and will meet the Joint Task Force officers face-to-face in order to avoid any risks of transmitting the virus. Now, viewers, earlier this year, there was a previous offer from the UK government to provide military maritime support. However, that effort was declined then by Premier Andrew A. Foy, who said, and I quote, "There was some discussion about military support, and I must say here that the UK and its agent seems to be itching to put military personnel within the jurisdiction," end of quote, whether on the sea or land. Instead, Premier Foy expressed confidence in the territory's collaboration with the USVI to ramp up border security efforts. He said, and I quote once again, "By this collaboration in an area of common ground, which is border protection, the BVI and USVI will be able to tighten both sides of the shared border. Measures such as these are our first option, and they must be given the time and opportunity to mature before we reach too drastic measures. The UK Navy should be our last resort, and I want to say that with due respect," the Premier added. Now, viewers, the governor, within his statement released just last Friday, shared his disappointment on government's decline, adding, and I quote, "I was disappointed that the offer of security support was not accepted at that time, as I felt it was a missed opportunity to enhance our local capability and protect our community from external risks. I have continually pressed this as a priority with colleagues. Now, in light of recent events and subsequent consequences, I feel I must do all in my power to protect the people of the British Virgin Islands and to support our dedicated law enforcement teams." Now, viewers, following the coronavirus-induced border closure, the territory has recorded a few attempts of human smuggling, which authorities fear may have compromised the health of residents. The governor said that the military presence from the UK will now protect and secure our wide sea borders from illegal activities, the smuggling of narcotics and money, and the ongoing threat of COVID-19. Now, Kyla, a conversation that has been at the forefront as it relates to border security. We do know that the issue or the portfolio of security falls under the governor and the governor's office by default, and the United Kingdom in their commitment to us here in the BVI. But one of the things we've seen over the last few weeks is a conversation of who's in control of our borders with these increased attempts of smuggling. The one thing we have seen reiterated coming from government is the fact that because of persons being smuggled into the territory, we would have retarded some of the efforts on the health aspect of managing this pandemic. And there are persons who support the move by the governor and by default the United Kingdom, being that security is their responsibility. But equally on the other side of the spectrum, some saying this is definitely a power move and a power play of words.
Javon, I think, as you said, some persons may be for the move, some persons might be against, but I think initially we saw where the government was trying to have the government as the governor, trying to have the government as a part of the conversation. But I think overall, with security being under his umbrella, I guess he saw where it would absolutely necessary, and especially now in the COVID-19 times, and we're trying to have that under control. And as you said, having that fear of smuggling being the reason, we have seen numbers here in the BVI. I think he saw where it was necessary to make this move. I think we'll definitely have to see how this progresses over the next few days and the next few weeks.
Absolutely. But a few questions coming forward as we examine the opinions of our residents. One is the fact that, smuggling and border security is not an issue. It's not a new issue, in the territory. This has been going on for years. So now persons are questioning, why now? Why so aggressive? Additionally, we do see that the security is being extended up until October. And it is a tricky timeline. Why not beyond that time period? So a lot of valid questions and concerns. And like Kyla said, we'll continue to monitor those on the ground and bring the updates to you.
Most definitely. Now, as we move on, Javon, for some time, we've been hearing about and reporting on the new Attorney General.
Yes.
And on October 1st, the Virgin Islands will be swearing in its second local Attorney General at a special sitting of the House of Assembly. Miss Dawn J. Smith will be sworn in as Attorney General at the sitting accommodated by the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Honorable Julian Willock. Honorable Willock, in a statement regarding the appointment, said, and I quote, "This will be another historical occasion for the territory. Regrettably, because of COVID-19, the pandemic, and its protocols, we can only accommodate a limited number of people. Therefore, it will be by invites only." Premier of the Virgin Islands, Honorable Andrew A. Foy, said he looks forward to working with the new Attorney General, especially in Cabinet and in the House of Assembly. Premier Foy said, and I quote, "I do believe she will be the ultimate professional in carrying out of her duties as Attorney General. My government has a very ambitious legislative agenda that will require Ms. Smith to hit the ground running. However, we have every confidence in her ability to excel. We pray that God will guide her every step in the post of Attorney General," end quote. The new Attorney General has served the territory and has worked in the public sector in numerous capacities over the years, including serving as the General Counsel to the Financial Services Commission. She is also a member of the BVI Bar Association and currently serves as the chairperson of the BVI chapter of the Caribbean branch of the Chartered Institute for Arbitrators. Her current professional credentials and memberships include Corporate Legal Operation Consortium, the Arbitration Women's, and so many more. Javon, and Ms. Smith was admitted as a barrister of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, Virgin Islands, and holds a Bachelor's of Liberal Arts, graduating with cum laude from Middlebury College in Vermont, USA, a Bachelor's of Law, graduating with upper second class honors from the University of the West Indies, especially the Cave Hill campus, Barbados, and a certificate of legal education from the Norman Manley Law School in Kingston, Jamaica. Now, Ms. Smith, as we know, will replace the current Attorney General, Mr. Aziz, who has served from 2010 to 2011 and also from 2015 to 2020. Javon, we see where Ms. Smith is coming into this role, very experienced, and of course, we are here at 284. We always applaud women just moving forward.
Yes, absolutely.
We're definitely happy for her, and I think she will definitely do a great job in her capacity as Attorney General.
Absolutely, based on her expertise as well as her accolades. And she's a woman, come on.
Let's
she
go
is
now.
definitely going to do a good job. And we want to applaud and congratulate her efforts so far. Wish her absolutely all the best going forward. Viewers, still ahead, the BVI's CXC results are now in, and we are live with guess who? The Minister of Education himself, Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley, to speak more about that. Stick around. You're watching 284 News.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Viewers, welcome back to 284 News. Like before the break, we did promise a live interview with the Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley. Dr. Wheatley, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me on 284 Media. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, now based on your latest reveal, and I think despite some really strenuous circumstances, COVID-19 and the likes, we still do see our students thriving as it relates to our CXC as well as our CAPE results. Nevertheless, so go ahead and tell us how you're feeling about their achievements, please.
Well, Javon, I just want to go ahead and congratulate the students especially, their parents, the teachers that helped to prepare them, the whole ministry, the examinations officer, Mr. Theodore John, and other persons on the team, for really doing an excellent job in very uncertain times. Of course, we know the students had to take the exams a little later than they usually do. They had to take it under, of course, curfew type of conditions. And of course, they would not have had the preparation that they're used to having. But despite that, they've kept pace with what they've done in the past, and quite a number of them have done very well. And we applaud their efforts, and we push them to go on to the next stage of their journey, given their excellent results, and to continue striving to push for their purpose in life.
All right, so exceptional work in some of the subjects. We see grades 1, 2, and 3 in about 78% of the subjects. What are some of the subjects that we did well in as a territory?
Well, in terms of 100% passes, we had 9 subjects where students had 100% passes.
Wow.
These included areas, of course, that are very important to me as Minister of Agriculture, including agricultural science and, of course, food, nutrition, and health. Students also got 100% passes in visual arts, family and resource management, technical drawing, industrial technology, and information technology. We also had over 90% passes in electronic document preparation and management, which was 98.8%.
Okay.
And we also had students do well in integrated science, 94.7% passes, and English A, which is 91.4% passes. So those were subjects of note.
All right. So we saw students, when we examined that list, outperforming more as it relates to English A with 91.4%. I think you said excelling in English, but on the flip side of the spectrum, just 52% with mathematics. Are you worried in any way about that?
Well, not just here in the BVI, but across the region and across the world. Math seems to be an area of weakness. Hence, many countries and territories have implemented STEM programs, science, technology, engineering, math, and we must do the same here in the Virgin Islands, not just with the CXC results, but we notice with the exit proficiency exam, math is an area of concern. I did take note that only 6% of our students who signed up for CXC math or the CSEC math, only 6% of them got grade 1s, which is compared to about 23% in English A that got grade 1s. We see that
So
only
this would
about...
mean we have a decline in comparison to last year?
Yes. I don't have last year's results for for English or math in front of me. But of course that we know that math is an area of weakness. Only about 52% of persons got either grade 1, grade 2, or grade 3 pass in math, as opposed to English, as we said before, which was over 90%. So that's a vast disparity, and certainly we have to do a little bit more work in mathematics.
And I know that is a sentiment shared across the region as it relates to CXC, yeah?
Definitely, the registrar, Dr. Wheatley, did mention when he was given the results that math is an area of weakness. And actually, as a Minister of Education, I attend CARICOM meetings. I attend meetings of the OECS, and it's something that we have discussed at length, which is what we can do in the region to help strengthen the STEM subjects. And so that's something that persons can expect to hear more about.
All right, now absenteeism and ungraded results seem to be a huge factor since 164 exam entries were not sat or graded this time around for CXC as well as CAPE. How does the ministry plan on improving this issue?
Well, it's been a concern for a number of years now. In fact, it motivated me as Minister of Education to make the decision that students and their parents, of course, would have to pay for the CSEC examinations. And the thinking was that perhaps in using their own money, they would be encouraged more to make sure that their money was not wasted. Well, that hasn't completely worked, so I would have to encourage parents and the students themselves to make sure that they value their education enough to make sure that they submit their work and submit it on time. Certainly, if they want to waste it, Javon, it will not be at the expense of the government. But of course, we always encourage persons to value their education. Of course, we can make whatever adjustments we would like to make, but it's really up to the students and their parents to make sure that they're motivated enough and to make sure that they do what they're supposed to do, especially when money has been spent, hard-earned money, to be able to sit these exams.
All right, Minister, before you go, I know recently you mentioned that schools will be reopened. I know some of them have already been reopened physically. Tell me, how has that been received, and what is the government doing as it relates to decisions regarding the public school? Are we making progress to the overall reopening of schools within the territory?
Well, yes, I have many parents, teachers, principals who have expressed thanks for the phased reopening that we're undertaking right now. Certainly, we recognize that there was a great burden in the community as it pertains to childcare and online education, and we really want to thank the students and the parents and the teachers and the administrators for toughing it out through this very difficult period. We opened up private schools, we opened up daycares and preschools, and that made a big difference. But we also opened certain sectors of the public schools. We opened it up for our technical students. On 284 Media and many other places, we spoke about the difficulty of online learning for persons with special educational needs.
Right.
We opened up for special educational needs and certain amount of marginalized students. And of course, we will be in cabinet this week, and we will be having further discussions about what other phases we will be rolling out in this phase reopening. Of course, we know that this situation was motivated by the COVID-19. We had a big spike. We originally planned to reopen, and then we had to delay those plans a bit because of the reopening, because of the spike in COVID-19 cases. We really have to congratulate the health team for getting that spike really under control, but we ask persons to remain diligent because, of course, there's a possibility that COVID-19 could still be out there. So everybody has to follow the protocols so we can continue with our phase reopening.
Minister Wheatley, I want to thank you so much for joining us. I know you're quite a busy person, and on behalf of our team, just thank you so much for stopping by and bringing us up to date as it relates to our CXC CAPE results as well as the reality of our school. So thank you.
thank you so much for having me. And again, I want to say congratulations to all the students who did so well in their CSEC, SEC, and their CAPE exams and continue to make us proud. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. All right, thank you so much. Now, Kyla, as it relates to the students, we have quite a number of students excelling this year from the Bigrado Flax Educational Center, Mr. Nicholas Kanai, 8 subjects, Kishan Gardner, as well as from the Elmore Stout High School, we have Sharani Winter, Renisha Rogers, Kristen Abraham, Kaylee Alfonso, Michaela Potter, Celeste Waterman, Janella Davis, Royally Christopher, and we pan over to BVI Seventh-day Adventist School, Kayla Manning, Raquan Hermerdin, Matthew Murray, Letitia Brown, and St. George's Secondary School. We have Eon Smith, Chad Willock, Olivia Freeman, Nyasha Yadram, Kelani Macmillan, and it's just so many. We just want to extend congratulations to all of our students, especially Kyla, in this time, such difficult circumstances, but we see our students continue to do well and we applaud it.
Most definitely. Congratulations to them. Now, viewers, so much more here on 284 News, as the police is now seeking the help of the public to solve 4 murders. All this and more when 284 News returns.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com.
Now, detectives from the Major Crime Investigations team are now seeking your assistance in identifying the perpetrators responsible for the murders of 23-year-old Melissa Spence, a native of Trinidad. We also have Kendoy Penn of Old Plantation, 46-year-old Julio Pineda Cesar of Greenland, and Mr. Nyron Olivier, a native of Trinidad. The details are that 1. On the 21st of September 2004, just around 11 a.m., a construction worker working on a house at Little Bay observed a body being thrown against a rock at the said bay. By waves, the police were contacted, and the assistant advisor recovered the body of Trinidad national Melissa Spence with several stab wounds to the body. Now, on the 18th of September 2005, just around 1 a.m., the victim, Kendoy Penn, was on his way home driving his vehicle when an unknown person fired several shots which made contact. The victim received life-threatening injuries and later succumbed on the 22nd of September 2005. On the 10th of September 2017, just around 2:30 p.m., victim Julio Pineda Cesar was at his Greenland home, Kyla, when masked men entered the residence making certain demands. The men then shot the victim and left the residence. He later succumbed to his injuries. And finally, viewers, on the 12th of September 2014, just around 11:19 p.m., victim Nyron Olivier arrived at his Horsepath residence driving his vehicle when an unknown person fired several shots at him. The victim immediately succumbed to his injuries. Now, viewers, September 2020 marks the 16th, 15th, 3rd, and 6th year anniversary, respectively, of these currently undetected attacks. Detectives of the said unit are still hopeful, nevertheless, that members of the community may have crucial information to assist in identifying those responsible for these senseless murders to bring some closure to the grieving families. Anyone with information is now encouraged to contact Detective Inspector Vernon LaRoque directly on the number 368-9809 or the Major Crime Investigation Team on 368-5682. All information will be treated with the strictest confidence. Kyla, lots to digest here as we reflect on the last about 20 years. So many persons would have lost their lives, and we remember these names so well. We remember the protests against violence in the community. We remember the public saying enough is enough, and to this day, it's so unfortunate that so many are still unsolved.
Javon, more than 15 years ago, some two of these murders happened. And although persons may say this is 15 years later, there are family members out there that are still seeking closure. So if persons do want to come forward, need to come forward with information on these murders. Of course, we had so much more for our viewers, but we are running out of time, Javon. Viewers, I am Kyla Kenesha Forbes.
And my name is Javon Wilson. Goodbye.